This is a pseudophakic eye with focal dystrophy. A localized local anesthesia is given subconjunctival. An MVR blade is used to create a paracentesis for the AC maintainer, as well as the another paracentesis for microforceps entry point. Enlarge a little for the microforceps to get in. This is followed by insertion of the AC maintainer. Then a 15-degree blade is used to make a 3 mm limber incision. A 2.75 keratome is used to enter the anterior chamber. Then the intracameral lignocaine is injected to reduce any potential pain when manipulate the anterior chamber. A reverse Sinski hook is then used to firstly score the desmoid membrane. This is the time where you have to run the infusion to maintain the anterior chamber. Do not put the infusion port too high, because you do not want to generate too much of pressure inside the eye to prevent prolapse of the iris. As you can see here, the desmoid membrane is being detached and then slowly removed from the eye. After the cornea is punched, the lenticule is the Dsaek tissue is pulled to the Bousin glide. Viscoelastic is then applied, and a microforceps is used to pull the tissue to the tip of Bousin glide. The wound is then enlarged with the 2.75 blade, and a microforceps is then used to go through the earlier paracentesis, go through to the other side, come out from the wound. Make sure it's a distance away from the wound to catch the tissue. Don't bring the tissue too close to the wound initially. Now, once the tissue is being catched by the forceps, then only your Bousin glide will go near to the wound to facilitate the pulling in of the tissue into the eye. Once the tissue is inside the eye, the infusion can be reduced. Do not overinflate the anterior chamber. Okay, then the wound is closed up with a 10-0 nylon. Then now you can remove the AC maintainer, and the paracentesis can close up with hydration of the stroma. A 30G needle is used to go through the limber region into the anterior chamber and go behind the Dsaek tissue and inject A to float up the Dsaek tissue. Do not have to worry about the position of the Dsaek tissue at this stage, because definitely you're going to move it. Use a 30G needle, again bend it something like a reverse Sinski hook. Okay, then you go through the wound at the edge so that you don't allow the air to come out too much. Go inside the anterior chamber, then use this needle tip to pull and adjust the Dsaek tissue to make it center. If the AC is too shallow, then you can inject some BSS into the eye to deepen the AC. This is to facilitate the air injection. Now, when come to the air injection, try not to push the cannula into the through the wound. Okay, just at the outside the paracentesis, you just push the air in. This is to avoid the air from coming out from the wound. So check the centration of the Dsaek tissue. Then I use a cannula to do a bit of a massage on the cornea to remove the interface fluid if there is any. As you can see here, the air still not enough because the eye is still not too firm yet. There is a movement of the air bubble inside the eye. So we still need to inject more air to have a more pressure. As you can see here, if you try to go into the paracentesis, the air can come out. So outside the wound, you push the air into the eye. And now if you look carefully, the eye is very firm. There is no movement of the air bubble. This eye is very firm at this level. Okay, so um, that's the end of the procedure, and I will keep this eye in this position for about 15 minutes, and then I will release some of the air under the slit lamp later on.